My fiancée said, "I'm too young to be tied down. I need to explore my options." After 4 years together and 8 months engaged, I said, "Explore away." She came back 6 months later, ready to commit. I rejected her, saying, "I don't need you anymore." And the chaos erupted. I, 35, male, got the "I need to find myself" speech 3 months before our wedding. Nikki Foster, 28, and I had been together 4 years, engaged for 8 months. Met at a friend's housewarming party. Hit it off immediately. She was witty, ambitious, gorgeous. We'd survived her career transition, my promotion to senior project manager, even a brief rough patch when her dad got sick, and she moved back home for 2 months. The conversation happened on a Saturday afternoon. We were at the bakery for our final cake tasting, vanilla bean with raspberry filling, if you're wondering. The wedding was 12 weeks away. Guest list finalized at 180, venue paid in full. Her dress hanging in our shared closet. "Zach, we need to talk," she said, pushing away her untouched cake sample. My stomach dropped. Nobody says that before good news. "I've been thinking," she continued, twisting her engagement ring nervously. "I'm only 28. I've been with you since I was 24. Before you, just 2 college boyfriends. I feel like I'm settling before I've really lived, you know? I'm too young to be tied down." I stared at her. Tied down? We're getting married in 3 months, not moving to a deserted island. But that's the path we're on, right? Marriage, house, kids, the whole suburban dream. And I need to explore my options, see what else is out there before I commit forever. "So, you want to call off our wedding to date around?" She nodded, reaching for my hand. I pulled it back. "But we can stay friends, and who knows, maybe after I've had some experiences we can reconnect. You're definitely husband material, Zach, just not right now." Husband material, not right now. Like I was a couch she wanted to put in storage. "Nikki," I said slowly, "if you leave to explore, we're done permanently." She actually laughed. "Don't be dramatic. People take breaks all the time. This isn't Ross and Rachel. We're meant to be together. I just need to get this out of my system first." I stood up, threw a 20 on the table for both our portions. "Explore away, Nicole. Hope you find what you're looking for." Left her sitting there, mouth open. Drove straight home and started making calls. Venue coordinator first, lost the $8,000 deposit since it was under 90 days. Caterer, another $3,500 gone. Photographer wanted to keep half, $2,200. Florist was actually decent about it, only kept $800. Band required full payment, $2,500. Wedding planner's cancellation fee, $1,200. All told, $18,200 down the drain, plus the engagement ring I'd saved 8 months for, another $4,800. That night, I moved her stuff to the guest room and changed all our shared passwords. Not dramatically, just efficiently. She wanted to explore. She could do it without access to my Netflix account or our joint savings. Split the shared savings account the next morning, $28,000 down the middle. Nicole had contributed maybe 30% over the years, but I wasn't about to fight over money with someone who'd just torched our entire future. The first week was brutal. Calling 180 people to tell them the wedding was off? Hell on earth. My mom cried. Her mom screamed at me like it was my fault. My sister flew in from Portland ready to kick Nicole's ass. Had to talk her down. "She's 28, Zach. She should know better." Apparently not. Work was awkward. My boss Dennis had already approved my honeymoon time off. The whole office knew about the wedding. I'd been excited, talked about it constantly. Now I had to explain why I was suddenly available for the Johnson project nobody wanted. "Everything okay, Palmer?" Dennis asked during our weekly one-on-one. "Wedding's off. Ex-fiancée decided she needed to explore her options." He winced. "Jesus. Sorry, man. Take whatever time you need. Actually, I'd rather stay busy. Can you put me on the Morrison account? I know it's a beast." "You sure?" "Positive. I've got nothing but time now." Threw myself into work like a man possessed. Morrison account was a nightmare. 6-month timeline, impossible client, budget that made no sense. Perfect distraction. Started staying until 8 p.m., coming in on Saturdays. Became the guy who always said yes to impossible deadlines. Meanwhile, Nicole was documenting her exploration phase on Instagram. Different guy every weekend. Vegas trip with some finance bro she met on Bumble. Girls' nights that turned into 3 a.m. club adventures. living her absolute best life, apparently. Her friends would post group shots, Nicole in the center, arms around whatever guy she was dating that week, captioned "Living Young and Free." The comments were predictable. "You go, girl. This is your era. So proud of you for choosing yourself." I'd blocked her on everything, but mutual friends kept showing me screenshots. "Dude, you seeing this shit?" "Don't care," I'd say, but I looked every time. 6 weeks after the breakup, something shifted. The constant ache in my chest started fading. Woke up one morning and realized I hadn't thought about Nicole once the previous day. Was too busy crushing the Morrison presentation. Started hitting the gym consistently for the first time since college. No more compromising on weekend plans or pretending to enjoy her book club discussions. No more splitting checks when she ordered the $40 seafood pasta while I got a burger. Got that advanced project management certification I'd been putting off for years. Nicole always said it was a waste of time, that I was already successful enough. "You work too much as it is, Zach. When do we get to just enjoy life?" Turns out, I enjoyed working, enjoyed being good at something, enjoyed building a career instead of just coasting. The Morrison project wrapped 2 months early. Client was so impressed they requested me personally for their next contract. Dennis called me into his office on a Friday afternoon. "Palmer, we're promoting you to senior project manager. $15,000 raise, effective immediately. You've been absolutely killing it since..." He paused. "Well, since your personal situation changed." "Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity." "You've earned it. Hell, you've been doing senior-level work for months now." That weekend, for the first time in 2 months, I felt genuinely good. Not just distracted or busy or numb, actually good. Sat on my balcony with a beer, looking at my bank account. The wedding losses hurt, but the promotion more than made up for it financially. My phone buzzed. Text from Kevin, my college roommate. "Drinks tonight? There's this new place downtown." "Sure, I'll drive." First time I'd socialized since the breakup. Felt weird putting on clothes that weren't work attire or gym clothes. But good weird. Like I was remembering how to be a person again. 2 months later, lot of DMs asking for updates. Honestly thought that was the end of it. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. The promotion changed everything. Suddenly I had a corner office, a team of 4 junior managers, and actual decision-making authority. The Morrison client loved working with me so much they signed a 3-year exclusive contract. Dennis started CCing me on executive meetings. "Palmer's our rising star," I heard him tell the regional director. "Guy's been on fire since his personal life simplified." Simplified. That was one way to put it. Started dating again around month 3. Nothing serious. Dinner with Sarah from accounting. Coffee with my neighbor's friend Lisa. Just practice conversations with women who weren't interested in exploring their options. Felt rusty as hell, but good rusty. Like riding a bike after years of taking the bus. That's when the flying monkeys started arriving. First was Ashley Coleman, Nicole's best friend. Got a text from an unknown number. "Hey Zach, it's Ashley. Can we talk? Nicole's really struggling. She misses you." Deleted it immediately. Then Michelle Foster, Nicole's sister, found me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn of all places. "Hi Zach. Hope the new promotion is going well. Random question. Are you planning to be at Danny's birthday party next weekend? Nicole mentioned you guys are taking some space, but she'd love to see you." Taking some space. Like I was on vacation. Didn't respond to that either. Then came the accidental encounters. Suddenly Nicole was shopping at my grocery store, the one 20 minutes from her apartment that she'd always complained was too expensive. Working out at my gym even though she had a membership at that fancy place downtown. Grabbing coffee at the shop 2 blocks from my office. Each time she'd act shocked to see me. "Zach, oh my God, what are the odds?" Pretty high when you're following my routine. The 3rd time at the bookstore where I go every Sunday morning. I'd had enough. Pretty convenient how you keep showing up places you never went when we were together. She tried to look offended. "I shop here all the time." "Since when? You said this place smelled like old paper and was full of pretentious hipsters." "People change, Zach. I'm exploring new interests." "Yeah," I said, walking to the checkout with my book. "Funny how that exploration keeps leading you to wherever I am." Her face flushed. "Don't be paranoid." "I'm not paranoid. I'm observant. Stop following me." "I'm not..." "Nicole, you're 28 years old. Act like it." Left her standing there in the biography section, mouth open like she couldn't believe I'd called her out. But she wasn't done. Started hearing from mutual friends about her exploration phase. Kevin would show me Instagram screenshots over beers. Dude, look at this shit. Picture of Nicole in Vegas, arms around some guy in a cheap suit. Caption, living my best life with this amazing man, # no regrets, mod finding myself. Another one from the following week. Different guy, same caption energy. This time, it was a hiking photo. Nicole, who once complained that a walk around the block was too much exercise. She's trying to make you jealous, Kevin said. She's trying to convince herself she's happy, I corrected. Different thing entirely. Month 4. Things escalated. I'd started seeing Vivian March, 33, software analyst from our IT department. Smart, funny, divorced with no drama. We were taking it slow, just dinner twice a week, nothing heavy, but it felt adult, stable, no games. Then I came home from work one Tuesday to find Nicole sitting outside my apartment building, not dressed for clubbing this time, wearing my old Northwestern hoodie she'd kept, no makeup, hair in a messy bun, the whole I'm vulnerable and need rescuing look. We need to talk, she said, standing up. No, we don't. I walked past her toward the entrance. Please, Zach, 5 minutes. You had 4 years and 8 months. You traded them for 6 months of exploration. How'd that work out? The waterworks started right on schedule. I made a mistake, the biggest mistake of my life. I explored, I dated, I had my fun. And you know what I learned? You're the one I want. You're the one I've always wanted. I actually laughed. I'm the one you want now that you've test-driven every other option in the city. That's not fair. Fair? You told me I was husband material you wanted to save for later. Like I'd just sit on the shelf until you finished playing house with other guys. I never said, you absolutely did. You're definitely husband material, Zach, just not right now. Your exact words. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. I hoped you'd wait. We had 4 years together. That has to count for something. It counted. Past tense. I've moved on. Her face crumpled. Moved on? What does that mean? It means I'm seeing someone. Someone who wants to be with me, not explore her options. What? Who? How long? Doesn't matter. What matters is I'm not available anymore. You can't be serious. We're soulmates, Zach. You know we are. Soulmates don't abandon each other 3 months before their wedding. I didn't abandon you. You needed to fuck other guys, and now you're done fucking other guys, so you want me back. That's not how this works. She flinched like I'd slapped her. Don't be crude. Don't be naive. You wanted to explore. You explored. I moved on. End of story. I'll wait, she said, sitting back down on the steps. However long it takes, you'll realize we belong together. I pulled out my phone. I'm calling building security. You wouldn't. Watch me. Dialed the number. Hi, this is Zach Palmer in 4B. My ex-fiancée is refusing to leave the building premises after I've asked her multiple times. Can you send someone? Sir, we'll be right up. Hung up. Nicole stared at me like I'd grown a second head. You're really calling security on me? You're trespassing. I asked you to leave. You refused. This is insane. We're meant to be together. We were meant to be together. You ended that. I accepted it. Time for you to accept it too. Security arrived 5 minutes later, 2 guys in uniforms who looked thoroughly unimpressed with the situation. Ma'am, you need to leave the premises. This is my boyfriend. Ex-fiancé, I corrected, who ended our engagement to explore other options. Now she's stalking me. They escorted her out while she yelled about true love and second chances and how I was making the biggest mistake of my life. That should have been the end of it. It absolutely wasn't. The next morning, flowers arrived at my office. Massive arrangement. Easily $300 worth of roses and lilies. The card, for my soulmate. I'll wait forever. Love always, Nicole. My assistant Rebecca raised an eyebrow. Secret admirer. Ex-fiancé having a meltdown. You want these? Are they poisoned? Only with desperation. She laughed and took them to the break room. The whole floor got to enjoy Nicole's guilt flowers. Hour later, Nicole showed up at my workplace, told security at the front desk she was my fiancée and had important legal documents to deliver. They called me down to the lobby. You forgot these, she said, holding a bag from Jimmy's Deli, the sandwich place we used to go to for lunch dates. smiling like nothing was wrong. The security guard looked confused. "Ma'am, you said you had legal documents?" "These are very important documents," she said, still holding the sandwich bag. "Sir, is this your fiancée?" "Ex-fiancée. And no, I didn't forget anything. Please escort her out." Nicole's smile faltered. "Zach, don't do this. We need to talk about us." "There is no us. Ma'am, please leave." "But I drove all the way here." "That was your choice." Watched security walk her to the exit while half my floor stared from the elevator. Bank. This was a corporate building. People didn't do drama in the lobby. Dennis appeared at my shoulder. "Everything okay, Palmer?" "Ex-fiancée having trouble with the concept of ex. Sorry for the disruption." "No problem, but maybe give security a heads up if you think she'll be back." She was back. Different approach, though. Since I'd blocked her on everything, she created new accounts, started commenting on my old Facebook posts with inside jokes, had Ashley tag me in throwback photos from group trips we'd taken, posted a long Instagram story about losing the love of her life to pride and stubbornness. My favorite line, courtesy of Kevin's screenshot, "He says he's moved on, but I know he still loves me. Some connections transcend temporary anger. We're soulmates, and soulmates always find their way back to each other." "She's completely lost it," Kevin said over beers that Friday. "Just ignore it. Don't engage, don't respond, don't give her ammunition." "What if she escalates?" "Then I'll deal with it." She escalated. Called my mother on a Wednesday evening. Mom phoned me confused and concerned. "Honey, Nicole just called crying about how you won't forgive her for some fight. What happened? I thought you two broke up months ago." I explained the whole situation. Mom listened without interrupting. "So she called off your wedding to sleep around and now expects you to take her back?" "That's the short version, yeah." "Oh, hell no. I spent $800 on a mother of the groom dress I can't return, and your father already took time off work for the honeymoon coverage. I'll handle this." "Mom, just don't engage with her. Trust me, sweetheart, I know exactly what to say." Don't know what Mom said, but Nicole's mother called me the next day, absolutely shrieking. "How dare you turn your family against my daughter? Nicole made one mistake. One. You're destroying her life over nothing." "Mrs. Foster, your daughter called off our wedding 3 months before the date. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. I've made my choice too. Please don't contact me again. She was the best thing that ever happened to you. You'll regret this for the rest of your life." If she was the best thing that ever happened to me, why did she leave to explore other men? Silence. "You're cold, Zachary Palmer. Cold and heartless." "No, Mrs. Foster. I'm a man who knows his worth. Goodbye." Hung up and immediately blocked that number too. The harassment continued. Different phone numbers, borrowed phones from friends, each voicemail more unhinged than the last. "Zach, it's me. I know you're home. I can see your light on from the street. That woman you're dating. Vivian, right? I looked her up on LinkedIn. She's pretty. Divorced, though. Is that what you want? Someone else's leftovers when you could have me?" Another one. "I drove by your office today. Saw you getting lunch with that blonde from your basketball league. Is that her? Your rebound? Do you really think she compares to what we had?" Started documenting everything. Screenshots, saved voicemails, written records of every encounter. My buddy Jonathan Walsh had graduated law school 5 years back, now worked for a decent firm downtown. "Dude, you need a restraining order," he said, reviewing my folder of evidence. "Is this enough?" "It's getting there, but you need something more concrete. Witnesses, property damage, a threat. Right now it's just annoying ex behavior." "How much more concrete?" "Something that makes a judge believe she's dangerous, not just persistent." That something happened 2 weeks later. Vivian and I had progressed to actual dating, our 7th time going out, first time she'd agreed to something that felt like a real date instead of casual dinner. I'd made reservations at Marco's, this nice Italian place downtown. Wanted to show her I was serious about whatever this was becoming. We were talking about her daughter's upcoming science fair project when Vivian's face went pale. "Zach, that woman at the bar keeps staring at us." Turned around. Nicole, in the red cocktail dress I'd bought her for my company's Christmas party last December. She raised her wine glass at me like a toast, then started walking over. My stomach dropped. "Shit. Friend of yours?" "Ex-fiancée. This is about to get ugly." Nicole arrived at our table with a predator's smile. "Zach, what a wonderful coincidence." "You need to leave, now." She looked at Vivian with fake curiosity. "Oh, I'm Nicole, Zach's fiancée. Well, technically ex, but that's temporary." The smile turned sharper. "You must be the rebound." Vivian didn't flinch, actually leaned back in her chair and laughed. "Lady, I don't know what your problem is, but this is just pathetic." Nicole's composure cracked. "Excuse me?" "You heard me. Whatever you had with Zach, you threw it away. Now you're stalking him at restaurants. That's not romantic. It's sad." "You don't know anything about our relationship. I know he blocked you everywhere. I know you've been harassing him for months. I know you're about 3 seconds from having the police called if you don't walk away." I was already reaching for my phone. "I'm calling them now." Nicole grabbed for it, trying to snatch it from my hands. Knocked over Vivian's wine glass in the process. Red wine everywhere, soaking through Vivian's white blouse. The manager appeared like magic. "Ma'am, you need to leave immediately." "I'm not going anywhere. This is my boyfriend." "Ex-fiancé who's stalking me," I corrected, still holding my phone. "Please call the police." The manager nodded to a server who immediately pulled out his phone. Nicole realized she'd miscalculated badly. "Zach, please don't do this. I just wanted to talk." "You assaulted my date and destroyed her property. We're way past talking." Police arrived within 10 minutes. Took statements from me, Vivian, the manager, even other diners who'd witnessed everything. Nicole tried to spin it as a misunderstanding between former lovers, but Vivian's wine-soaked shirt told a different story. They didn't arrest her. Apparently knocking over wine during an argument wasn't quite enough for assault charges. But they issued her a criminal trespass warning for the restaurant and strongly suggested she leave me alone going forward. As they escorted her out, she yelled loud enough for the whole restaurant to hear. "This isn't over, Zach. We're meant to be together. You can't fight destiny." Vivian was incredible about the whole thing. Even joked that she'd never had such an eventful 7th date. We grabbed pizza afterward since dinner was ruined, but honestly, the mood was shot. She did kiss me goodnight, though. "Call me after you get that restraining order." "You sure you want to deal with this level of crazy?" "Zach, I'm a divorced single mom. Your ex's dramatics are nothing compared to custody hearings. But seriously, get legal protection. This woman isn't stable." Filed for an emergency protective order the next morning. Jonathan helped with the paperwork, and we had a court date within the week. Showed up with Jonathan and a folder thick with evidence. Screenshots, voicemails, witness statements from security guards, police report from the restaurant incident, 4 months of documented harassment. Nicole arrived with her mother and what looked like a public defender she'd found in the yellow pages. She'd completely transformed her appearance again. Conservative navy dress, hair in a professional bun, minimal makeup. The whole respectable woman who's been wronged costume. Judge Martinez reviewed everything methodically. The texts, voicemails, workplace visits, restaurant confrontation. All of it laid out in chronological order. Nicole's lawyer, some guy named Brennan who clearly wasn't prepared, tried to paint it as a misunderstanding between former lovers. "Your Honor, my client simply wants closure. She's attempting to apologize for ending their engagement hastily and perhaps inappropriately. This is a civil matter between adults who shared a significant relationship." Judge Martinez looked at him over her glasses. "Counselor, did you actually review the evidence? Specifically the voicemail where your client says she can see his apartment lights from the street? That's not seeking closure, that's surveillance." Even Brennan looked uncomfortable. Then Nicole asked to speak, against her lawyer's obvious advice. "Your Honor, Zach and I had 4 beautiful years together. We were engaged to be married. I made one mistake. I asked for space to grow as a person before committing to marriage. Now he's punishing me for having normal pre-wedding doubts." "Ms. Foster, you're 28 years old enough to understand that actions have consequences. You ended an engagement 3 months before the wedding. Mr. Palmer accepted that decision and moved forward with his life. Your refusal to accept his decision has led to stalking, harassment, workplace disruption, and assault." "I never assaulted anyone." "You physically attempted to grab his phone after following him to a restaurant where he was dining with another woman. That's assault, Ms. Foster." Nicole started crying, real tears this time, not the manipulative kind. "I just wanted him back. We're soulmates. Is wanting love a crime?" "Wanting love? No. Stalking someone who's clearly told you the relationship is over? Yes, that's actually a crime. Restraining order granted. 2 years, no contact, stay 500 feet away from me, my home, my workplace, and anywhere I'm known to frequent regularly. As we left the courthouse, Mrs. Foster cornered me in the parking lot one last time. Are you satisfied now? You've humiliated her in front of a judge, ruined her reputation. Mrs. Foster, Nicole did this to herself. She loved you. How can you be so cruel to someone who loved you? She loved the idea of having me as a backup plan. There's a difference. You'll die alone with that attitude. Jonathan stepped between us. Ma'am, any further contact from you or your family will be considered harassment by proxy and a violation of the protective order. Walk away now. She huffed off, but not before spitting out, "She was too good for you anyway." Right, that's why she spent 6 months stalking me. 3 months later, haven't heard a peep. The restraining order seems to be working perfectly. Nicole lost her marketing coordinator job. Turns out showing up sporadically because you're too busy harassing your ex doesn't impress employers in a recession economy. Her Instagram transformed from party photos to motivational quotes about surviving narcissistic abuse and rising from ashes. Ashley reached out through Kevin one final time. Just so you know, Nicole's in therapy now. She realizes she messed up big time. Maybe in a few years when the order expires, you could consider, no. But she's really changed. She understands what she lost. Good for her. Tell her therapy's great and I hope she learns from this experience, but we're never getting back together. Ever. That's really cold, man. No. That's being someone who refuses to be treated like a safety net. Vivian and I are still together, getting serious. Her daughter likes me, which matters more than I expected it would. We're talking about moving in together after her lease ends in spring. She jokes that she knew I was worth the drama when my psycho ex showed up. Only quality men have stalkers that committed. Dark humor, but it works for us. My mom randomly texts me, "Thank God you didn't marry that crazy girl," about once a week. Dad just grunts and says he would have handled it differently, but he's proud I stood my ground. My sister still wants to fight Nicole in a parking lot. Looking back, if Nicole had just broken up with me normally, said she wasn't feeling it anymore, wanted different things, realized we were incompatible, I would have been hurt, but I would have understood. People grow apart. It happens. But the entitlement of thinking I'd wait around while she explored other men. The assumption that I'd be grateful when she finished playing the field. The absolute meltdown when I wouldn't follow her script. That showed me exactly who she really was. There were signs I ignored. Comments about how lucky I was to have her, how she'd chosen me over other guys, how I should appreciate that she wasn't high maintenance like her friends. She never saw me as an equal partner. I was an accessory. A stable, reliable accessory she could put down and pick back up whenever convenient. Well, this accessory walked himself right out of her life. Best $18,200 I ever lost. Probably saved me from a divorce that would have cost 10 times more financially and emotionally. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, you're not a backup plan. You're not someone's safety net. You're not required to wait around while they find themselves. When someone shows you how they value you, believe them, and value yourself enough to walk away. At 35, you don't have time for games. Choose yourself, every time.